I am Dr. Rohit Kumar, your academic counselor, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Today, I teaching you a paper BPSC 143 State Politics in India. In previous class, we will discuss about various block 1 Introduction and block 2 Federalism. Today we will start block 4, name is Party System and Electoral Politics. In this block there are two units. Unit 9 is State Party System and Unit 10 is Electoral Politics. Move on to Unit 10, name is State Party System. There are some objectives related to this unit. Number 1 is explain the meaning of the party system, and second one is differentiate between the patterns of party system in various states like UP, Bihar, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, etc. And number 3 is discuss the changes in the state party system over the years. Basically, discuss the changes. Changes means various parties emerge in state politics like UP, Apna Dal and Samajwadi parties, etc. And in Delhi also we can see Aam Aadmi Party. And fourth one is relate the nature of party system with social and economic structure in these states. Basically, nature of party system. Basically, what is the cause behind the formation or develop a party? Basically, BSP, SP is caste based party, Aam Aadmi Party is development based party, etc. Now, moving on to introductions. In representative democracy, the people elect their representatives, and it is the representative who frame laws on political behalf and form a part of the executive. It is the mainly political parties that field candidate in elections to represent people in the legislative bodies. Since elections are essential, is a democratic political party become crucial. Political parties generally perform the role of interest aggregations and interest articulations by forming and running the government. Thus, is in a representative democracy, the political parties put forward candidates and campaign activity to support their candidates. Political parties and their candidates who get elected to legislative bodies, basically Vidhan Sabha, we can call Vidhan Sabha, represent the demands and aspirations of the people. Desires of the peoples, aspirations of the peoples. There are several political parties in India, in Indian states. In this unit, you will read about the party system in the Indian state. Now, start with meaning of political party and party system. There is a general agreement among political scientists about the meaning and aims of political party. A political party in an organization that aim to get representations in the government through the candidate. Its means purpose is to government through the candidate. It means purpose is to get power. Basically, political related to power and achieve power, yani political power. The candidates contest election as member of political parties or support by them to represent people in the legislative body. In a democratic country, different political parties compete to get the support of the people according to alliance. A political party is an organization. Basically, a political party is an organization that nominates candidates. Basically, your representative nominate candidates to stand for election in its name. Basically, political party's name, and seeks to place representative in the government. The party system denotes that the number of political parties in a country. Single party system show the presence of a only single party, where other parties are either absent or insufficient. Basically, we differentiate between that two party system, one party system, multi party system, but in narrow mind brief sense, single party system show the presence of a single party where other parties are either absent or insufficient. Two party or bi-party system shows the presence of two parties, and multi-party system means that there exist more than two parties in a country or the province. Basically, province means states. Thus, the presence of number of parties in the Indian state show the number of party system in the states. Based on their support base and recognition by the election commission, political party can be categorized as national parties, state parties, or we can say regional parties. On several occasions, especially for contesting election or forming governments, parties have formed alliance or fronts. Membership of such alliance or fronts change according to the political needs of political party. Basically, we can say NDA bloc, NDA alliance and UP alliance. Now, moving on to party system in the states and during the era of Congress dominance. Basically, one party system, we can say, Rajni Kothari say, is a Congress dominant system and Congress party system. The party system in Indian states can better be understood in connection with the party system at the national level in India. Basically, after the independence, we discuss about party system in India. So, first FERA generated name is Congress party system. Without Congress, you cannot read and you cannot understand the party system in India. In India, the party system till the 1970s, basically 1970s, was known as the dominance of a single party. Dominance of and presence of a single party. The Congress, known by the dominance of a single party, the Congress Rajni Kothari terms as the period from the 1950 to 1960s as an era of Congress dominance or of a Congress dominant system, or simply we can say Congress system in most states. Like at the all India level, single party system has exist. However, in some states there exist some parties, non-Congress party along with the Congress. For example, the Communist Party of India, basically CPI, had a strong support base in Kerala and in the Jammu and Kashmir representatively. In Kerala, the CPI had led government during 1957 to 1959. With the 1960s assembly election in Kerala, the INSC could not back majority of seats and formed the government in alliance with PSP and Muslim League. Nagaland too had a non-Congress government led by the Naga National Organization, which was formed in 1963 following the assembly election there. Although in some states more parties than the Congress has exist during the first 2 decades after independence, in political science parlance, it was still known as the era of single party dominance. As conceptualizations by Rajni Kothari, by the late 1960s, the era of Congress dominance in Indian party system ended. It was reflected in the formation of government by a coalition of the non-Congress party known as Sankhta Vidhyandal SVD. These states include Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha, Madras and Kerala. Several factors caused the decline of the Congress. This factor indicates factionalization with the Congress in the state and resentment among the people among the party. This reason the resentment were food crisis caused by famine and drought, regional disparities, language conflict in such India, etc. The non-Congress parties such as the SSP, PSP, CPI, Jana Sangha, RPI mobilized people against the failure of Congress. To meet the aspiration of the people. This contribution to the decline in the dominance of the Congress and rise of regional party, decline of the Congress happened along with the rise of regional party and regional leaders. The patterns of regional political parties in different states were also follow two-party system, multi-party system from the 1970s till the 2020s. two-party system or multi-party system exists in different states of India. In the two-party system is marked by the predominance of main political parties in a state. Basically, two-party system is the example of driven from one-party system in India. But it does not mean that other parties do not exist. It means that the two parties are most influential and the parties other than these two have marginal influence. In the multi-party system, more than two parties play a decisive role in the politics of a state. The number of political parties in states keeps changing. The emergence of new parties, the disintegrations of old parties in a continuous process, basically disintegrations. I can say we can say in just slide ki two party system is the driven from one party system, and the example is, and the main reason is disintegration of old parties. It is a continuous process which depends on several factors. Most important among these factors are including split with an existing party. Basically, split with an existing party, like Congress party, because of internal competitions or functionalism which within a party. The rise of a new leadership representing some social groups like OBCs, SCs, etc. The rise of new leadership representing some social group, dissatisfaction among the people about this existing party to fulfill their aspirations, desires, needs. The following sections deals with major patterns in party system the state since the 1970s. After the era of one party dominance, the section discuss the characteristics of party system in different states. Now, party system in the states during the 1970-98 broad feature. This after the 1967 elections, there emerged a bi-party or multi-party system in India state. Basically, two-party system and multi-party system, two and more party system. The poor performance of the Congress in the 1967 election was the result of resentment of peoples among the Congress in different states. Resentment, which grew since the second half of the 1960s. Major features of the party system in Indian states during the 1970 to 1980s were marked broadly by prevalence of the two-party system. However, in several states there also exist more than two parties, but the party system or dominance by a bi-party system. In this bi-party system, two parties were more influential than the other parties. Basically, major parties, two parties. The parties other than the two major party and influential parties enjoy marginal positions. One of the major party was the Congress, which existed in most of the states, and its main virtual party was a regional party in the among every states. While the Congress has organized in the national movement, its rival parties in the states were born out of the decline of Congress since the late 1960s. Basically, we can say disinterest and major features of the party system in India. They also symbolize regional aspirations, were generally founded and led by the regional level leaders. Basically, we can say in state parties in Indian state, basically we can say new name is regional parties. DMK, Anna DMK, BSP, SP, Aam Aadmi Party, or Biju Patnaik Party, etc. There are examples of the two-party systems from various states the existing during the 1970 to 1980s. In Uttar Pradesh, Charan Singh found a regional party in 1969. Basically, Charan Singh is the also PM in India, former PM of India, found a regional party in 1969 known as the Bharatiya Kranti Dal. Bharatiya Kranti Dal, Bharatiya Kisan Union nahi, Bharatiya Kranti Dal. It has its principal supports based among the farming communities. Basically, this party supports by farmers, Indian farmers, and basically UP farmers, such as Jats, Yadavs, and Kurmis in regional of UP. These communities has benefits from the land reform in the center UP, entire UP, and form the green revolution in the western part of UP. The BKD and the Congress were two most influential party in UP at that time in 1969 era, 1960 era. Apart from the Congress and the BKD, Bharatiya Kranti Dal, there had also exist other parties, especially party with different dominants, Socialist Party or Sanyukta Social Party, which were relatively less influenced than two. During 1970s and 1980, the Janata Party became the main political party in India, relegating the Congress to the marginal positions. It had lead government at the center as well in several states. The Janata Party was formed because of merger of some parties that has opposed the Congress Party, especially impositions of emerging the parties which were merged to form the Janata Party include the Jana Sangha, Bharatiya Lok Dal, the Congress O, and Congress O basically is the group of Congress Party, new party form, and OFD, Congress from Democracy. However, the Janata Party did not survive for long. It gets disintegrated due to internal dissensions. Following its disintegration, some parties that had originally merged to form the Janata Party resumed their independent identity, which different name in UP. The party founded by Charan Singh came to be known as the first as Janata Dal Secular, and later first DMKP, Dalit Mazdoor Kisan Party, and then as Lok Dal. It continued to exist until after Charan Singh's death 1987. In 1998, it got merged among the other parties such as Janata Party, Janata Dal Secular, Indian National Congress, and Jan Morcha to form the Janata Dal. Until then, the Congress and the Lok Dal were two main parties in UP, and also we can say Bihar. Bihar provides another relevant example of bipolar or two-party system of the 1970s to 1980s. In the state, before the formation of the Janata Dal, the main oppositions of the Congress was provided by the Socialist Party, Janata Party, or the Lok Dal. We also discussed in UP, Uttar Pradesh. The split in the Janata Party in 1979 led its in Bihar also. Lok Dals emerged after the split in the Janata Party. Lok Dal and the Congress remained the two major party in Bihar, and Lok Dal was replaced by the Janata Dal in 1979. After its merger into the later in the states such Punjab, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and Himachal Pradesh, the features of two-party system were represented in by the presence of two parties, while the presence of Congress was common in all their states. These states each had the specific oppositions party. The opposition to the Congress was provided by All India Akali Dal in Punjab, by the BJP in Rajasthan. Basically, two-party system is remain also in Rajasthan, and BJP and other side opposition parties Congress. And the Shiv Sena is Maharashtra. The non-Congress parties claim to represent the aspirations of the parties where they exist. It is important to note that along with the two main parties, other parties had also exist during the 1970s to 1980s in several states. But the other parties either were not highly effective or exist for this short period. This made the two-party system as the main feature of the party during the 1970s to 1980s in several states. We discuss in slides. There are biparty system, we can say two-party system. Punjab in Shiv Sena emergence of opposition parties Shiv Sena, and Rajasthan in BJP, Punjab in Akali Dal, and etc. Now, party system in the states since the 1990s. The period from the 1990s to 2010s has seen as the existence of multi-party or two-party system in Indian states. The process of multiplications of party systems या political parties or other fragmentations has become remarkable features of party system in some states during this period. And in some states the party system is marked by the presence of two-party system. The party is also linked with the introductions of economic reform in India. Basically this era related with the economic reform in India. Basically we can say LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. Once economic reform in India, once result of it has been growing influence of the regional parties in a federal structure in the context of, says in the study in becoming of the century found that in as many as 12 states of Indian Union, regional parties occupied a prominent position in the state's legislature and form government in several states. You must be knowing that there are 28 states in India and 8 union territories in their time. They have bi-party or multi-party system. The unit will discuss the example the party system in some state from the 1990s. This example will help to understand the broad features of party system among all Indian states. An increase or decrease in number of political party in states is reflecting of change in the society as well as relationship among different political parties. This era is also represent Indian democracy as alliance groups, alliance parties, coalitions party. The social groups which emerge due to the change in society, factions leaders within the parties or lack of opportunities for proper positions within the main party for some leaders are principal reason for the increase in the number of political parties. As you read in the previous sections of this unit, during from decade from the 1950s till the 1980s, there had been a shift in the party system in Indian state from the dominance of a single party, the Congress, to a broadly two-party or bi-party system. The Congress system is the party system in Indian states again witnessed significant change from the 1990s. During the period, the number of political party in many states has multiplied. Basically in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana, etc. This indicates the presence of a multi-party system as the significant features of the party system in Indian state. While the other states follow the two-party system in the legislature on political party, the emergence of multiple party in these states has been described as multiplications or fragmentations of parties. The sections deals with the characteristics of party system in the some states of India during the 1990s and the 2010s. It does so with the example of political party in some states. This example represent broad characteristics of party system in among all states. Now moving on to multi-party system in Indian states. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Tamil Nadu and several states other example have multi-party system. With example of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Tamil Nadu, the subsections of the unit discuss the state party system. Multi-party system become a dominant features of the state party system in India from the 1990s onward. The process of multiplications of political party began in the late 1980s with the emergence of the BSP. The BSP sought to address the problem of this Bahujan Samaj or majority of the social group in this society, basically Bahujan Samaj Party. In the BSP perspective, the Bahujan Samaj includes groups which are marginalized in Indian society, basically deprived society and the secondary stage of society. The OBCs, Dalits, women and regional religious minorities like Muslim and etc. Although BSP has its support base among different social groups, largest group of its supporters are Dalits. Its leader Mayawati became chief minister for 4 times in the 1990s and 2010. It focused on social welfare program for the marginalized group and or recognized of culture symbol associated with the Dalits and other marginalized community. Apart from the BSP, there have been existed other parties in UP during the time. There are the BJP, the Congress, the Janata Dal and the RLD, Samajwadi Party, basically we can say SP, and various small or caste based parties. Among these parties, the Janata Dal has existed for a short period after being formed in 1988. Within a few years of its formation, the Janata Dal in UP had split into two parties. One is RLD by the Ajit Singh, basically Ajit Singh, and SP led by Mulayam Singh. Over the period, the influence of different parties in UP had been varying in different elections. During the period, the influence of Congress declined while that of the BJP and other parties increased. Except Congress, SP, BSP, RLD, BJP and some small and caste based parties have been part of government formation and different point of this time from 1993 till the 2020. Basically this era we can say is the caste based politics, and also we can say identity politics. But in the 2020 we can say BJP emerged as a holistic party, not identity party. We can say it's a religious politics in UP. They have been part of government formation either as coalitions partners or members of alliance or fronts. From the late 1990s, UP has seen the emergence of single caste or small parties. Many of them are formed by leaders or individuals marginalized caste, OBCs or MBCs, basically most backward classes. This example includes Apna Dal, founded by Sonilal Patel and later by its daughter Anupriya Patel, become a minister of in NDA government. Till now, she is also NDA government minister. Most of these parties were been basically she is from Sonbhadra Mirzapur belt region. MBC leaders who were either in the BSP as members of the Bahujan Samaj because of feeling of not getting proper recognitions by leaders, especially those from the embassies in the BSP or other parties. They have set up their own parties. Leaders of such parties begin with the major political party BJP, BSP or the SP. They are three major party in UP. We can say Congress also, but in broader term we can say and we see that BJP and SP is the major party is today. Bihar, there has been existing multi-party system since the 1990s. Various parties in the state can be identified as follows: the RJD, the JDU, LJSP, BJP, the Congress, and some small parties such as Hum Party, Hindustan Awam Morcha, led by Jitan Ram Manji, and RLSP, Rashtriya Lok Samta Party, led by Upender Kushwaha. Their name and numbers keeps changing. The parties other than the Congress and the BJP can be identified with their leaders who founded it. An important feature of the parties such as RLD, JDU, LJSP is that they had emerged out of split in a common party, the Janata Dal. As they have read above, the Janata Dal was found by the VP Singh, while in UP and JD had split into two parties, the SP led by Mulayam Singh and RLD by Ajit Singh. In Bihar, in split into the three parties at different point in time, RJD led by Lalu Prasad Yadav, JDU led by Nitish Kumar, LJP led by Ram Vilas Paswan. Indeed, all there of them shares common political and ideological background. They participate in the LJP movement prior to impositions of emergence in 1995 and believed social ideology. Ram Manohar Lohiya and Jay Prakash Narayan. They also represent social marginalized community, OBCs and Dalits. Although these parties get support from different social and economic sections, each of these had a strong support base among the caste to which their leaders belong. Despite sharing common background, they formed separate parties. The main reason for formation of different regional parties out of the JD has been political competition among the leaders. Formation of new parties, their mergers or formation of alliance between them and national parties in the important feature of multiple system. Like in several other states, split, merger and alliance of political, basically this is the features of Indian political this is the feature of Indian democracy. We can say party system is split, merger and alliance of political party are more common in the context of electoral politics and government formation. For instance, the JDU was further divided into a Hindustan Awam Party led by Upendra Kushwaha and Jitaram Manji representatively. Hum Party basically. Upendra Kushwaha was remained leaders of Samta Party from some years for Rashtriya Samta Party in 2009, but he merged it with the JDUs, but they left JDUs to form Rashtriya Lok Samta Party. The Rashtriya Lok Samta Party got merged with JDU again. Jitan Ram Manji, multiplication of political parties in the indicators or reflect competition among different social groups for their share in power structure. This had been marked by the decline of the Congress in the state. Basically, this is the era of regional party emerged, not Congress. The decline of Congress system in several states like UP and Bihar. This has been marked by the decline of the Congress in the states, the expansions of BJP supports base across community. Basically, this era is emergence of BJP and decline of Congress. And formation of parties led by leaders from OBCs, Dalits. The expansion of BJP from the 1990s has been much more dramatic than the decline of the Congress. In the assembly elections, its performance in the 1990s were speculated through the states where regional parties have gained ascendance. Its Punjab, Assam and etc. Tamil Nadu has shown patterns of the multi-party system from the 1990s. It is the 2020 some of the parties in Tamil Nadu and DMK, Anna DMK, PMK, these parties are largely known as Dravidian parties, Tamil Manila Congress, MIM, CPI, CPIM and the Congress, the BJP etc. Some of the parties in Tamil Nadu can be identified with the names of their leaders. The Dravidian parties are impressed by the Dravidian ideology which seeks to provide self-respect to the people in India, basically in India. They also seek to protect Tamil language and Dravidian culture. Basically, this party emerges as the identity politics. The main feature of these parties is the identity politics, and in the South India, Tamil language, Tamil culture, Dravidian culture. The DMK was earlier known as DK. In the 1949, the DK became DMK under the leadership of CN Annadurai. In 1972, the DMK split in the two with AIDMK, become a new party. Dravidian split parties came to occupy a dominant position in the party system in the state from the 1960s. They also represented Lok Sabha election, we can say AAM election. They represented major seats. Prior to this time, the Congress was the dominant party in the states like a most state in India, but is compressed to the Dravidian parties, especially the DMK and Anna DMK, AIDMK. The supporter base of Congress, BJP and the Communist parties in smaller in 1977. The DMK was split, resulting in the formation of the AIDMK led by M.G. Ramachandran. According to Narendra Subramaniam, the formation of multiple parties out of the principal Dravidian parties was a result of autonomy and flexibility which was given to the cadre in these parties. Mainly we discuss about two-party system in these states. Even through the multi-party system become a dominant feature of the state party system in India, there exists a two-party system in some states. Rajasthan and Punjab are most example of the example states which have largely two parties. In present time we can say two-party system also available here, sustained in these states like Rajasthan, and second state is Punjab. This subsection in about two-party system in these states, unlike the state that has multi-party system, various caste groups such as Dalits in UP who have formed the BSP or the OBC in Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar who have parties such as SP, RLD, RJD and JDU. Such caste group have not formed separate parties in these states, nor small parties or parties by the single caste have been a significant part of party system there. However, sometimes some small parties also appears in these states, but their existence has been respectively insignificant. This state have a broadly two-party system. The principal reason for prevalence of two-party system or of the absence of multi-party system in some states have been the absence of realization with politician or the leader. Now let's sum up. A political system implies the numbers of political parties that exist in a country. In the context of the state politics in India, state parties system indicates number of political parties which exist in each state. This state party system in India has changed since the 1950s. In the first 2 decades after independence, the two-party system at the all India level as well as Indian states were dominated by the single parties. The name is the Congress party. The Congress of that time was called the Congress system by Rajni Kothari. During the 1950 to 1960, the party system in the state was dominated by the Congress as the single party. Those as some states, but the non-Congress parties have been also exist. By the end of 1960s, the Congress system had declined, and in the next 2 decades, different states happened to 2 or more than 2-party system. The period from the 1990s saw multiplication or disintegration of the party system. Several parties emerged in this period. The multiple parties also includes small or single caste parties in states such as Uttar Pradesh, Bihar or Tamil Nadu. All the multi-party system became a dominant feature of the state party system during the phase. This has also been two-party system in existing during the phase. Now moving on to unit number 10, name is electoral politics. 1 minute please. We start new unit, name is electoral politics. There are some objectives related to this unit. Number 1 is explain the meaning and scope of electoral politics. Basically, party system is related to your representative and electoral politics related to you, voters. We can differentiate this term as electoral politics related to voters, citizens, and party system related to your representative, political leaders. The first objective is explain the meaning and scope of electoral politics. discuss the relationship between electoral politics and democracy in India, identify the pattern in states electoral politics, and discuss the main issues of mobilization in electoral politics. There is the main example, there is the main phenomena, there is the main feature of Indian politics is mobilization. What is mobilization in Indian politics? Mobilization by caste, region, religion, language, culture, identity, etc. Now introduction. Electoral politics is related to politics that occurs in the context of elections. Although elections take place at a significant period of time, electoral politics states even before elections are held. Thus, electoral politics involves not only the occurrence of elections but also patterns of mobilization by the political party and leaders for voting in the election. Basically, it's related to your voting behavior. The conduct of elections is a free and fair manner and extent of participation of people from various social groups in considered as a way to measure the success of democracy. In India, the introduction of the several adult franchisee after the implementation of the continuation in the 1950 Constitution 1950 has enables every adult with some exceptions who is 18 years old or above to elect its representative in the election and after attaining some age to become a candidate to contest elections. First time all adults in India were eligible to participate in the voting was the general election held in the 1951 to 1952. Prior to that, there was no universal franchise in India. It was restricted franchise. It means that voting right and right to contest election was restricted a certain section of society who possessed wealth, paid rent to the government, basically in taxation, had education qualification. In terms of the basically we can say in before the independence, the voting right is restricted for some sections of society who are capable in wealth, who are eligible in education, basically educated qualified. Not for universal franchisee concept in India. This concept we can discuss, we can see in after the implement our constitution in 1950. In direct elections, people directly elect their representative. In the indirect elections, people elect their representative indirectly through the MPs at all Indian level, MLA or MLC at the state level. Indirect elections were held for the post of president, vice president or the member of Rajya Sabha. In this unit, you will read about the electoral politics in the Indian state which refer to direct elections. Electoral politics in India takes place with the purpose of electing representatives into their kinds of institutions, the Lok Sabha, legislative assemblies and institutions of local governance, government as a Panchayati Raj system in the rural and the municipalities in the urban areas. In India between 1951 and 1971 general election to be the Lok Sabha and election to the Legislative Assembly were held together. Since 1971 they have been held separately. Indeed, the frequency of elections in India to Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly has been increased over the years, especially since the 1990s. Elections are the hallmark of liberal constitutional democracy. India adopted a federal system of governance has a provisions for an institution of elections commission for conducting and managing free and fair elections. Part 15 of the Indian Constitution deal with the election for the Parliament of India and Legislative Assembly and counselling in the states. According to Article 324, the Election Commission of India is the institution represented for the management of election at the union and the state level. Article 170 of the Indian Constitution has provisions about election for the state assembly. Explaining electoral politics in India and state. There is a lot of literature and electoral policies and party system and leadership association with electoral politics in India. The subject to study election in known as psephology. The literature provide as will broad feature of electoral politics in India. As you have read in Unit 1, in India, state politics as a subject of study become popular following the decline of Congress by the late 1960s. As you have read in Unit 9, by this time there emerged state level parties in several states. Some of these parties found by prominent leaders who was strong support base in the respective states. Many of these leaders emerged were earlier members of the Congress. Emergence of regional level leaders and parties reflect the rise of various social groups and the aspirations in different states. These aspirations were largely related to region, caste, language, religion, culture, etc. Such political parties gradually acquired a crucial role in national level politics during the 1990s. Some of these leaders played an important role in national level politics and party formation at the level. Charan Singh, in the important example in the context, initially have influenced politics, policy making, and provided leadership in this home state. Uttar Pradesh, until the 1960s, he played a decisive role in formatting policies and the center, and is the politics of North Indian states such as UP, Haryana, Bihar. He was also Prime Minister of India for a brief period. Leaders such as Charan Singh and the socialists within the Janata Party region were effective in shaping aggregation policy and highlighting questions of reservation for the OBCs in the central government institutions. Their efforts result in the appointment of the Mandal Commission in 1978 by the Janata Party regime with Morarji Desai as Prime Minister. This trend was reflected in some state at that time. Reservation for the OBCs in the state government jobs in UP and Bihar by the Janata Party government. The number of states level parties leaders increased from the 1990s. The rise of the BSP established by Kashiram in the North Indian states was and of the BJP has brought the question of social justice and role of religion into the focus of mobilization in electoral politics. Besides, as you have read in the Unit 9, these exist more parties than one in the Indian state. The number of parties implies the type of party system, and in India there are broadly two types of party system: two-party system or multi-party system. Electoral politics is marked by the competition among them. It is important to note that electoral politics in these states is not confined of the state level or regional parties. Even the national parties participate in them. Thus, in electoral politics in the states, both kind of parties, state and national parties, participate either as independent identity or in alliance with the regional or national level. Basically, we can discuss about unit number 9. There is the era of identity politics. Basically, in UP and Bihar, we can say emergence of political parties based is identity politics, and we can say voter behavior is tilt your nature in that caste based, class based, we can say religious based and language based, culture based, etc. Culture and language based basically in South India. Electoral politics is marked by competition among them. It is important to note that electoral politics in the states is not confined to the states level or regional parties. Even the national parties participate in them. Thus, in the electoral politics in the states, both kind of parties, states and national party. We can say national party also represent this kind of politics in the sense of identity politics. Now, moving on to Rajni Kothari and minor winner. Basically, this is the big name in Indian politics. There, this name is Rajni Kothari from India, minor winner from foreign. Survey-based elections study in India from the 1960s. Election studies have passed through different phases. After the gap of around 2 decades, Election studies became again popular with the study of the 1984 Lok Sabha election by David Butler at Pomeroy. Different scholars studies politics in different states attempt to study politics have continued since then. These studies focus on different aspects of state politics, elections, parties, leaderships, and parties of mobilization. Basically, we can discuss in previous slides. Mobilization is the main characteristic of party system in India after the 1990s, and also we can say 1980s. Election studies become more popular from the 1990s or onwards. The leaders' roles in conducting elections study in India is played by the Center for Studies of Development Society, basically CSDS in New Delhi. Beside elections studies are conducted by individual scholars. Apart from elections study, a pioneer polls of voting patterns is also a subject matter of analysis. Now moving on to electoral politics and democratization, basically is the emergence of electoral politics by sense in caste based parties. Since the last decade of 20th century, two important developments took place in electoral politics in India. First is the participation of diverse sections of society in voting in election increased. Basically, diverse section of society is increased number of voting by the marginalized society. We can say secondary state of society groups, SCs, OBCs, religious based marginalized groups. These sections includes mostly the marginalized sections of the society, women, tribes in Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, etc., Dalit, OBC and rural classes in UP and Bihar. Vigilance elections commissions and rise in level of political consequence on the significance of voting has result in participation of larger party in elections. Second feature is the profiles of parties representative in the state's legislative assembly have undergone remarkable change. In the initial decades after independence, people representatively mostly belong to economic and socially more privileged groups. The trend witnessed a shift during the late 1980s and the compositions of the parliament become more diverse. Apart from high caste, participation of people's representative belong to the OBCs, Dalits and women, etc. has increased subsequently. However, this composition is not uniform across the states. Different studies covering different states edited by Christopher Jeffrelot is the big name in Indian political party system. Christopher Jeffrelot. We discuss and we read about his article in Hindu and Indian Express also, and Sanjay Kumar in Due. Rise of changing face of Indian Legislative Assembly shows that the profiles of people's representative with reference to caste, gender, we can say sex, gender, age, occupation and age have undergone changes. It has the larger shares of the plebeians. However, there are variations in the pattern across the state in India. Some observers have argued that electoral politics in India has led to increase in democratizations. Generally, we can say weaker sections, MNCs, Dalits, OBCs, women, religious minority has been altered as a Bahujans, basically Bahujan Samaj Party. Bahujans is the in the name of Dalits, OBCs, women, religious minority and etc. The increase in their participation in elections from the last 2 decades of the 20th decade has been conceptualizations as the second democratic upsurge by Yogendra Yadav. Now moving on to changing patterns in electoral politics. The election in Indian states have witnessed a paradigm shift in past few decades after the 1990s. Basically, after the 1990s, when the globalization era is emerged and the economic reform is emerged in 1990s, we can say LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. This shift can be seen as the some patterns in the electoral politics, alliance and front of the regional parties with national or state level leaders, the increasing role of smaller parties led by a single caste party, BSP, SP, Janata Dal United, etc., or small parties in electoral politics of some states such as UP, Bihar, Tamil Nadu, and increasing role of money and crime also. Some examples can illustrate this pattern. In UP, the BSP had made alliance with the SP in the 1993 to 1995, as formed the government after winning the 1993's assembly elections and formed government 4 times with the help of BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, between 1995 and 2007. In Northeast India, the regional party has formed Northeast Democratic Alliance, small parties such as Apna Dal and Suheldev Bhujan Samaj Party in eastern Uttar Pradesh, bargaining with the national or regional parties elections, include the BJP to have an alliance for a share in party power. Rashtriya Lok Samtha Party, led by Upendra Kushwaha or Hindustan Awami Morcha, basically we can refer the term Hum Party, led by Jitan Ram Manji in Bihar, bargaining with the bigger regional parties such as JDU or RJD generally. Such parties press for the acceptance of demands about the recognition of social and cultural symbols and social justice. Several small parties such as ADMK, PMK, MDMK and MIMK, led by individuals leaders such and identify with specific caste, has come to play an important and crucial role in the electoral politics of Tamil Nadu. Now, in addition, there have been a close nexus between the regional political parties and business group. If they win electoral elections and form the government, they upset business groups in promoting the business interest and these groups. Besides, along this, money, crime also impact electoral politics in India. It is important role to note these are not the only issue. As you will notice in the next sections, there are social, economic, cultural, politics, etc. Basically, we can discuss about in North India, we face that and features that characteristics that caste-based party, religious party, minority party, and in South India, we can say economic rising, economic debates in start in South India. In North India, we can say caste-based, identity-based parties. Now, issue in India, in these state elections, there are various issues determine the people's choice in elections. These issues are of different types: economic, social, cultural, and political. Among these issues are unlimited. However, there are some impacts on the daily life of the people. Some of these issues are availability of employments, price rise of inflations, social school and hospitals, roads, transport facilities, social justice, welfare program, recognition of social, religious, culture symbols of different social groups, governance, etc. Basically, this type of characteristics and issues emerge in Indian state politics, like schools, health sector, welfare scheme, recognition, social identity, caste-based parties, identity politics, etc. Now, law and order also basically in the UP and Bihar. Different political parties and leaders mobilize people on these issues. Basically, this era also characterized by and identified by mobilizing politics, identity politics also. With the rise of political parties, identify with the Dalits and OBCs in North and the BJP since the 1990s, and the presence of such parties in South India, especially Tamil Nadu, since before the issues about caste-related justice, OBC reservation, all at India level, or divisions of the OBC's quota, recognitions of culture symbols, association with different caste and religious based mobilization has been the principal focus of electoral mobilization. BJP has made consistent effort to create a larger pan-Indian religious identity. The BJP agenda of cultural mobilization has witnessed a major change in the past few decades. Basically, caste-based political identity policies move on to religious parties, religious mobilization. Basically, caste to religious politics is emerged in 1990s when BJP is emerged, and BJP is development also South and on North India. Electorally, it has shown flexibility to accommodate and mobilize various social groups with the purpose to create a pan-Indian identity. Now, we can discuss more slides in next class. Today, we start with Unit 9, basically party system in India, and Unit 10, basically electoral politics related to your behavior, voters. Now, we can say voting behavior. And after this slide, we can start next unit, unit number 6. Till now, you can read and write about this unit. Thank you so much. Namaste.